I feel like some of us who may be a bit more cynical about it have kind of understood that the whole pro-life thing has never been real, right? It's really great branding, but it isn't real, right?
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. Now, I have a report that all the fentanyl getting seized coming into the U.S. was destined for MSNBC hosts because clearly they're all on drugs. Now, surely I've only heard that from, one anonymous source that no one else can confirm, but that's all the evidence MSNBC is needed to go nonstop about an abortion payment allegation against GOP Senate candidate Herschel Walker. And, let's be honest, these mental conclusions that MSNBC hosts jump to from there do require a substantial amount of mind-altering substances.
I feel like some of us who may be a bit more cynical about it have kind of understood that the whole pro-life thing has never been real, right? It's really great branding, but it isn't real, right? It's just, they just want power and they would love to have women under control and they feel women are out of control. The problem is modernity, right? It's that modern women are harder to control. They go off and they get their little fancy college educations, then they want to compete with you in the workplace. They want to do the stuff men can do. They want to play sports like men. They all of a sudden don't want to be under control. And a teenager who's stuck at home raising a bunch of children she has no idea how to raise is actually really controllable. And I feel like we now can have an honest conversation.
An honest conversation, right? Because journalism and honesty is what MSNBC is clearly all about.
Okay, you and I,
yeah,
we're both very conservative.
Yeah, about those drugs.
I actually, and I've always told people that watch the show, I've warned them, right? I'm not a member of the resistance.
Yeah. The left certainly can't resist hyping coverage of the allegations against Walker. In the first 24 hours since the leftist Daily Beast posted the accusation that Walker allegedly paid for an abortion over a decade ago, ABC, CBS, and NBC morning and evening newscasts devoted almost 21 minutes to hyping those allegations. Now, for comparison, when Herschel's opponent, Raphael Warnock's ex-wife, appeared on police body cam video making allegations of violence against him, ABC, CBS, and NBC didn't give it any coverage in the 24 hours following its release.
And today he crossed the line. So that is what is going on here, and he's a great actor. He is phenomenal at putting on a really good show.
Putting on a good show. Well, that's something that the leftist networks try to avoid. On Tuesday, the Treasury Department reported that the U.S. national debt soared to a catastrophic $31 trillion. That's the highest it's been in our 246-year history. Yet, ABC's World News Tonight, CBS Evening News, NBC Nightly News, they all ignored the debt report, gave it completely zero coverage. Perhaps, they were just too busy twisting facts to defend Democrats.
What Vice President Harris said yesterday, or day before yesterday, that if you have a different skin color, you're going to get relief faster.
That's not what the Vice President said.
So I think what we've got to do.
That's not what the Vice President said.
Wait, it's not?
It is our lowest income communities and our communities of color that are most impacted by these extreme conditions and impacted by issues that are not of their own making. And so absolutely. And so we have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity.
Seems that's exactly what Harris said, but the leftist media just argues against truth when it's presented to them. Truth about Democrats is an incomprehensible language to the leftist media, even when the leftist media speaks a foreign language, as proven by the Spanish language media this week after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was actually critical of some illegal aliens who were arrested for looting.
El gobernador de Florida aprovechó el hecho de que fueron detenidas 4 personas cometiendo actos de saqueos en una casa abandonada para pegar con todo a los migrantes sin documentos.
El gobernador de Florida, Ron DeSantis, arremetió contra los inmigrantes sin documentos acusados de participar en saqueos en la zona del desastre de Ian.
Imagine a governor lashing out at looters. I mean, you can't blame the looters for seizing upon this sensitive moment.
Autoridades del condado Lee, la área más afectada aquí cerca de la playa, notificaron que han arrestado a 4 personas por aparentemente entrar a robar a casas justo 24 horas después del huracán. Estas personas al parecer entraron también a negocios y aprovecharon el momento, un momento tan sensible para todos.
Yeah, they just seized on it. Move on. After all, that's what the media recommends for any failure that could hurt the left. as shown when discussing Biden's many and varied embarrassing mental lapses.
Move on. It's unfortunate. Again, life is here. He understands. And empathize. I think that's what's most important here. And I think Karine did try to do that.
People make mistakes and you try to...
Yeah. It is like we've all done it before.
Fair enough.
Constant excuses for the left. That's fair enough for mainstream journalism. The one thing they can't move on, though, from is Trump, even though he's not in office. Anything bad that happens to this country must somehow be connected to him, like OPEC cutting oil production.
Why is OPEC doing this now? They haven't done this since May of 2020, when they correctly thought that the demand would be going down due to the pandemic, and they were right. So, is it to help Trump? Is it part of a deal to lend money to his family? They're just questions. I don't know the answer, but that's where you should be going.
Chris Fredo Cuomo is back, and we don't like to tell him where he should be going. But we're out of time. I'm Eric Shiner for MRC-TV, asking you to visit the MRC Store and check out the special Halloween gear. Scare a leftist this season. Please visit MRC-TV for the latest in news, information, and entertainment. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos on the social media platforms that let you check them out. We'll be back next week with more leftist media madness.